Naruto fans, move on. It's done, bro. It is done. We've been doing this shit way too long, bro. It's been 20 years, like 20 plus years. Chat, I'm not gonna lie, yo, I am so happy Himawari got Kurama. Like, I've said this in the chapter review. I was proven wrong about Himawari. I really was. I never really expected her to reach a level where she can finally contend amongst the top tiers. Of course, with her becoming the new Ninetails Jinchuriki, I don't expect her to, like, beat Jura right away. I don't even expect her to do anything, really. She might get a couple hits off next chapter when they fight, but the fact that she's already being put in a position where she could grow and get a lot stronger from here on out, I absolutely love it. Because I'm gonna be real, I never really expected Himawari to be that important of a character. I knew she had potential because the anime would show it off, because obviously with her Byakugan, she would show her like raging, right? Like, we've seen moments of it where she would go into her Byakugan, and even like Boruto's afraid of her. I would kind of perceive it as like a gag, or like a, you know, kind of like a funny moment per se. But now that like she's put in a position where she can finally fight the top tiers, even though right now she's probably not even all that strong with Kurama, it sets her up to be a really, really strong character. Getting the Ninetails is a great writing decision for Kishimoto. Like, I'm really, really happy that she's getting that, because she deserves it, man. She deserves it, and we need more in the new gen to come on out. We can't rely on Boruto and Kawaki to do absolutely everything, right?
On social media. I thought this would be a very fun discussion to have, and as you can tell from the thumbnail, I think this whole discourse is both disingenuous, it's copium, and a lot of people, they want Kurama to come back to Naruto, and why they think it's possible has shifted from, well, this is a different Kurama, so he could go back, to people pointing out that Naruto could just basically have an Obito pull, where Obito's chakra flew into Kakashi's eyes to give him the Sharingan for a short period of time, so he could assist Kakashi in defeating Kage alongside the members of Team 7. I'm going to call it out for what I think it is, which is it is pure 100% raw and uncut copium from fans of Naruto Uzumaki who love Naruto's character more 1000%. Than they love the Naruto franchise itself.
Yep, I agree right here. This is just facts. Unfortunately, I'm going to be real. Unfortunately, a lot of Naruto fans, they don't know what they want when it comes to the Boruto series. They don't know what they want out of Naruto and Sasuke, because with Naruto and Sasuke being removed from the series, you're seeing like who really wants to follow this manga. That's the real fans, the Boruto fans. That's the one thing I'm glad about having these characters removed from the series, because now you won't hear that, oh, all they do is carry the series, which that point has been disproven ever since the time skip has started, because a lot of OG fans that don't follow this series, all they want is for Naruto and Sasuke to be as strong as possible and just beat up the bad guys. That's why they love the Momoshiki fight, because it's like all they want is to see these two characters fight, right? That's all they care about. They don't really care about the other characters. They don't really care about the new gen. They don't care about the development of Boruto. That's why they still dismiss him to this day. In my opinion, and this is just my take because we were just talking about hot takes, I think the Boruto series got better after Naruto and Sasuke were removed from the series. Because you saw a lot of OG fans saying like, oh, I'm not going to read the series anymore or watch it, when they weren't even paying attention to the series in the first place.
It's really a testament to how well written of a character Kishimoto made, that 10 years after Naruto's manga published its final chapter and a full year since he got sealed away and taken out of the story, that people, they're still clamoring for the return of Naruto in the hope that he's going to return with a new power. He's going to return to being the top of the verse, even if it comes at the expense of his daughter. The idea that our beloved 7th Hokage, who went from being the literal, figurative last pick in the shinobi draft to being the strongest shinobi to ever live at the moment he lost Kurama, the idea that Naruto's now sitting on the sidelines, completely outscaled by characters in Boruto 2B
this is
Vortex,
facts.
it makes people want to go into a dark four-cornered room, surround themselves with candles, start...
This is a basketball analogy, chat, but Naruto's like LeBron now, right? LeBron is like my favorite basketball player ever, but LeBron's no longer at his peak. He's no longer the MVP that he once was. He probably won't ever win another championship. He's cooked. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's still going to give you like 25, 8 and 8, or whatever that crazy stat line he gives you, but LeBron is no longer at the peak, right? You have guys like Luka and Jokic and, Anthony Edwards, etc. Same thing with Naruto. Naruto's no longer that guy. He's no longer, even though he's viewed as the face of this franchise, he's no longer the top dog. You have to accept it.
Same time, I literally don't get it, because Boruto manga chapter 1 tells us that part 1 of the story was the story of father and son, as Boruto puts it, but Boruto says it's the beginning of the story that is a story of father and son, which, as Ikimoto put it, Boruto Naruto Next Generations, that was the youth arc. However, we are currently in what Boruto referred to as being Boruto's story. And as Boruto said, because his father is the Hokage, his father will always play a role in his story, and that he literally cannot help that. But at the end of the day, this is his story. It was 16-year-old Boruto telling readers in the prologue, quite literally, this is not going to be the story of a boy who aspires to be Hokage. That either go read that story you're clamoring for, if that's what you want, or accept that Naruto's story is what it is, and that it's a beautiful message in the Boruto era, which is the story of a man who had no family, is now struggling with the responsibilities that comes from living out his dream job as being the Hokage. All because he loved his family more than anything else. He found himself getting sealed away because he was unable to do the one thing that was expected of him as Hokage, which is to kill his child. When you take the emotion out of it, there's a lot of good character writing for Naruto, and I bring that up to say this for why I think it's cope of Naruto getting Kurama back, and why I think that it's dumb. It's emotional, which that's fine. You have a right to be emotional, but the problem with emotions is that people tend to be illogical.
Yep. And this is the problem with all anime fans, not just Naruto or Boruto, because a lot of Boruto fans are like this too. People get so stuck up in their feelings because of how they want to perceive the series that it changes how they view these characters. So for example, Kawaki, right? When Kawaki threw Boruto under the bus, the amount of slander my goat caught, bro, Kawaki instantly became the most hated character amongst the fandom. Obviously, it's purposely written that way. He was purposely written to be that unlikable. However, the responses to Kawaki doing this, all of a sudden people were acting like Kawaki's character doesn't mean anything. It has no purpose. The same way how Naruto fans simplify Boruto's character oh, he's just a snotty brat who cheated in the Chunin exams. The same way Naruto fans were characterizing Boruto because of his actions were the same way how Boruto fans were characterizing Kawaki because of emotion. And unfortunately, you can never have a logical conversation Anime X or like on YouTube, right? Like you see a lot of people in their feelings, and that really clouds their judgment on how they view a certain character or the overall series.
Yes, is Himawari someone who isn't a trained fighter, or rather a well-trained fighter, and she's someone who never wanted to be a Jinchuriki? Absolutely. However, it's as Kurama stated in the manga chapter, he was talking to Himawari as much as to us. This is where fate led them, and whether or not they live or die, it will depend on whether or not Himawari is able to properly use Kurama's power now. And he tells her to stop being a spoiled brat in the figure. It's her struggle now, and it makes even more sense when you go back to Ikimoto's 2018 interview over the span of 3 days when he was in Italy. He said not only that he wished that Himawari played a bigger role in the story, but he hinted that there was something bigger in store for her, and that's where we are currently. If you're
Himawari, man,
I don't see how you look at Naruto's two children having to take the lessons and the values that Naruto and Hinata instilled in them at a young age and use those very things to overcome the same trials and tribulations that Naruto had to. And it's needed to overcome one of Naruto's biggest fears when it comes to his mortality, which I've covered in some of the Naruto wrestling videos. Neither Boruto or Himawari, they asked to be where they are right now. But Boruto's story, from Naruto Next Generations to Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, it has been playing with the theme of destiny and genetics being something inescapable, in the sense that you have to confront them head on at some point. You cannot escape it. Multiple times in part 1 of the story, we were given signs that Naruto, he was in for a rough future, a rude awakening, and that Konoha would have to learn to depend on itself and not him. Which
that's exactly what happened, right? Even with Naruto getting sealed away, Naruto's biggest demise was putting all of his faith into his family. Of course, it worked with everyone but Kawaki, because Kawaki was so fixated on protecting Naruto, where Kawaki developed this hatred for killing off the Otsutsuki to the point where Naruto's own faith, his teachings, his principles, and his logic that he taught to the next generation, it was spit back against him. right? That's why he got sealed away by Kawaki, because Kawaki was such a broken child that he never understood the concept of love and affection, that he used it toward Naruto's disadvantage, which ultimately led to the story of what it is today.
Naruto goes to the greater ninja world itself, and it makes sense. Naruto, for as much as you love him, at some point Naruto dies in universe. He will not live forever.
Yep.
He'll live forever in your hearts, absolutely. But in universe, at some point he's gonna die. It might be of old age, it might be because he drinks some poison ramen juice, but at some point Naruto dies. Viewers who watched me cover the light novel set in the Naruto blank period and the Boruto era know this next point all too well. More than once, characters in a position of power, from Kakashi to some of the Boruto era Kage and even Naruto himself, they worried that this peace, it wasn't going to be sustainable, because in the grand scheme of things, in the history of the shinobi world, this alliance is still in its infancy and they're still figuring things out as they go. And Naruto in particular worried that if he wasn't around, that the ninja world might gradually over time go back to how it used to be, especially when you factor in the politics of the feudal lords who each control each village's Kage. The Kage at each village is not the final shot caller, it is a feudal lord. There really isn't a choice by anyone in any other village to do anything except for go along with the treaty that Konoha negotiated after the Fourth Ninja War, because Naruto and Sasuke, they could just blow up the continent on their own if it ever came to a war dispute. Not that they would ever do so, but it's understood they contained that level of power, and casually at that. Naruto's other fear, that the ninja world wasn't ready for threats at his level. Yes, Naruto stated he believed the new generation of shinobi would eventually surpass himself in the Boruto Kages, but he also said they are young tree buds that needed a little bit more time to be nurtured. Naruto got captured by Momoshiki and Kinshiki, and the Boruto Kages, they were asked to assist Sasuke in the mission to retrieve Naruto. Naruto was captured by Jigen, and we saw Shikamaru step up to assume the authority of Hokage, and in that brief period of time, we saw how vulnerable Konoha was. When Naruto lost Kurama by fighting Ishiki, the Boruto Kages, they're facing one of the worst possible outcomes that Naruto feared, which was they each believed they could destroy Ninetails. And I would argue the Boruto Kages can destroy Ninetails itself. Not a Ninetails Jinchuriki, but they can destroy Ninetails. But if Momoshiki returned in Boruto's body, they feared that no one, including Naruto, would be able to destroy that Momoshiki. And
yeah, if Momoshiki ever comes out, chat, if this version of Boruto were to ever be taken over by Momoshiki, it's cooked. He is a sucker for chaos. He will destroy everything that he sees. He will kill everyone that he gets into contact with. He does not care. And if he has control over jutsu like Flying Raijin, Rasengan Uzahiko, all the lightning style jutsus, because Momoshiki has been witnessing all of this, even though he hasn't taken over his body in years, he's seeing all of this. He can learn it like that because he has control over Boruto's body. And if he ever gets control of that Jogan, yeah, everybody's done. Everybody's dead. Maybe Damon could, hold his own, of course, because Damon is one of the strongest in the series, but it will happen. The day it does happen, it is going to be absolutely insane. Maybe Jiren Hidari could do something about it, but Boruto plus Momoshiki is on a whole nother level. We already seen it with Borushiki, and that was with Kid Boruto, right? Because I personally think that original Momoshiki, like base Momoshiki, is weak. I know he stated to be like Kaguya-esque, right? Like he has a very high power level, and the Kage did know that, okay, he is very powerful, but the dude consumed a lot of chakra pills. He was kind of getting cornered by the Kage instantly and had to rely on consuming Kinshiki to go and defuse Momo. He is a lot stronger now that he's in Boruto's body because he can use his powers and ability. Plus the karma is another added on power outside of his own power that he does have.
Naruto in universe, he is presumed currently to be dead, with only a few people knowing the truth. They know that there are several threats out there that are stronger than Jigen, who beat down Prime Naruto and Sasuke, left Sasuke crawling back to his wife to get healed. They know that Code is out there and they have to worry about them. They believe they have to worry about Boruto. They have two people who are neutral in Ada and Damon, who are only as loyal to helping Konoha as they are to getting their needs met. They can leave on a whim if they ever decide to. For these people, their security blanket in Naruto, it is now gone. There is no break glass in case of emergency button to push Naruto into the battlefield. Naruto ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
He's floating in a time space where time doesn't move, completely nodding off. And they believe that his rival Sasuke, he has turned against the ninja world once again. They were forced to take drastic measures to step up and surpass their limits. And It was an urgent of enough situation that even Naruto's own daughter was being pushed to start training as well, which in of itself should be a major reflection of the times where being a shinobi is elective, and someone as kind-hearted as Himawari was inspired to start gaining power because Naruto leaving, it is a huge disruption in the balance of power. Naruto being presumed dead is the same thing that you have in Jujutsu Kaisen, where it stated Gojo being born in of itself shifted the balance of power. Naruto being dead shifted the balance of power in that way. I say that to say,
and before he continues, I have to say, I wish we got more of like I already said this a lot, but I wish we got more of the village's reaction, like everybody else's reaction to hearing that Naruto is dead. Obviously, we know the truth that he's still alive, but these other villages and these other Kage, they need to be informed on this, and they do know about it, but we have never seen it. And I think that's important because, let's be real here, Naruto's power, these other countries, they fear it. They fear Sasuke, they fear Naruto, and with those two out of the story, these other villages, they probably don't know where Sasuke is, but with Naruto gone, knowing that the Ninetails is no longer here, they were informed about that. Man, that changes the dynamic of it, and I'm really surprised they never showed that. Obviously, they're probably not that important right now, but that does change the world. Let's be real, some of the other characters are more important, like the Ninetails, like Kawaki, for example. But I think that was a missed opportunity, and it probably won't be shown for a long time, unless the anime gets around to it.
Himawari is being forced into being in possession of Kurama. It's going to force her to have her growth be sped up and become someone who is worthy of those monster genetics that she has. When Kurama says she's more suited to be his Jinchuriki than Naruto was, having a stronger affinity, factually speaking, he isn't wrong. And as tough as a pill as that is for some fans to swallow, because they think that Naruto is Ninja Jesus and he walks on water. Well, he technically does walk on water, but you get the point. It's going to go down your mouth faster than having one child when she sensed Nojin's chakra absolutely tank and she realized that Sai can no longer get it up. Her parents, they are a blend of both aspects of Kaguya, and that cannot be understated, but let's just presume that Naruto does want Kurama back. Does anyone really think Naruto's gonna kill his daughter to get that power back? That's what
That's crazy.
Himawari was born with Kurama inside of her. He wasn't sealed into her after she was born like Naruto. A possession of his chakra is already there, which I discussed why that's likely the case in my Where Did Himawari's Biju Chakra Come From video, so I'm not going to repeat those talking points. You can watch that if you want more information on that regard. In universe, canonically at that, most importantly, canonically, we have not been told a name of a jutsu that can transfer the Biju from one person to another. The instances where we've seen Biju extracted, the Jinchuriki dies. Or in the case of Minato, when he sealed the yin half, or rather he tried to seal the yin half of Kurama into Naruto after Madara extracted the yang half, it's important to remember that Minato was kind of dead himself. We have Naruto Shippuden filler where Naruto, through unknown reasons, was somehow given half of Kurama's chakra, and the other half was still inside of Kushina, but that's Naruto filler. It goes in the trash bin and it's set on fire. I'm not saying 100% we don't rule out some chakra mumbo jumbo from happening, because with any long-running series, especially a franchise like Naruto that's been around for 24 years in manga format, you're gonna have some backdoor retcons made, you're gonna have some tweaks made to the existing lore. So I never rule anything out 100%, but I do believe, just looking at the narrative and the direction that it's going, that's not where we're going to end up. Naruto's legacy, his two children, they're the ones carrying the torch now.
It's passed down onto him.
Said, his father, he is a support character now. All of the Biju chakra inside of Naruto, it was burned up. If there was any left, Kurama would have respawned inside of Naruto. But all the Biju chakra was burned up.
Burnt
Sakura
away.
Does a test on him, and we see there's no traces of Biju chakra left inside of Naruto. I love Naruto as a franchise as much as anybody. I own all 72 volumes, 73 when you count Naruto Gaiden, in English, and I own the Japanese manga volumes as well. Depending on which version of Naruto that you're talking about, he's one of my favorite characters. But we're at a point where Naruto Uzumaki fans, they're at risk of becoming the new Madara and Itachi fans, speaking more so from emotion rather than
logic.
which,
Yep.
again, that is
Rather
a
than
testament
logic.
to how amazing of a character Masashi Kishimoto wrote. But it's time for us to sit in the corner, have our group therapy, eat some ramen, start playing Sadness and Sorrow while we bawl our eyes out, or we click the Boruto chapter review on the right if you haven't seen it yet. Or
W plug, man.
15 strongest
W
Demon Slayer
plug.
videos on.
To be real here, you gotta move on. Naruto fans, move on. It's done, bro. It is done. We've been doing this shit way too long, bro. It's been 20 years, like 20 plus years for Naruto, man. 25 years, however long the series has been going on for. Naruto has been relevant for that long, bro. We've reached a point where, bro, we're in 2 Blue Vortex. It's the new gen. You gotta sit aside, sit your ass in a corner. Shout out Naruto Explain for the video. I'm gonna link the video in the description. Let me know what you think about all this. Do you guys think that Kurama should have not been with Himawari? Go back to Naruto, even if Naruto isn't gonna come back to the series. Let me know about all that in the comment section below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.